I started the live. I started talking. It said that it couldn't connect. I'm thinking we back on now. What is that? That's okay. So, all right. I guess we on. We're good. We got it. All right. So we live and good. So, like I was saying before, I'm gonna just start over from the top because I don't know what saved and what didn't. All right. So, again, 25 days of fitness, different workout every day. Starting off with squats. Talking about why you hurt, how to get out of that hurt, how to relieve the pain in your squats, and how to do it better. Because one of the number one comments I hear all the time when talking to clients or talking to members, whether it be a personal training client or somebody that I'm working with at Orange Theory, a lot of the times I hear, oh, squats, I can't do squats because of my knees. I want to eliminate that fallacy right now. While you're thinking that the issue is your knees, the pain is in your knees, the pain that you feel is real. I'm not discrediting that. But the issue isn't the squat per se, it's your foot positioning. I'm gonna back this up so y'all can see my feet, because I'm gonna show you what you all typically look like when you're squatting versus what you want to look like. So normally you can place the weight on your shoulders and then you start doing this. You start getting all wide to be able to handle the weight. Let me say right now, if you have to be wide to handle the weight, it's too heavy. Stop that, because you're taking your feet, you're spreading out your base, which is actually limiting your actual strength. Like your ability to take weight up may go higher because your feet are wider, but you're not really controlling it. You can't do that heavy weight in any other stance, so you really can't truly do that weight. So again, most of y'all, you put your feet out all wide, you're dropping down here, you're sitting backwards, driving the heels into the ground, and then standing up. One, driving the heels into the ground is not helping you. Driving your heels down, as you walk, everything is forward locomotive. You need to be walking through your toes. When you jump through your toes. You don't try and jump through your heels. You never do that. Anything that requires power, you use your entire foot. Like, if you don't believe me, stand up right now, put your heels in the ground, lift your toes up, and try and jump. That don't make sense for the power, for the structure of building power. And if we're gonna lift weight to build strength and power, then why not make sure that the two things correlate? Let me change the position so y'all can see my feet. You want to have the pressure more in the toes than your heels. I say toes, but really in the forefront of the foot. And I'm going to show you why. Truthfully, I don't even like squatting with the weight on my back. I don't like where I can't control the weight because I want everything to correlate with my forward movement. But I'm going to show you what you all do and how to fix it even with this position with the weight on your back. So a lot of times, even on the Smith machine, you'll move the legs forward in order to try and target the butt more. Get to the point where you know where that bar is going to move, have it right up under you. As I come down, I am on my toes as I drop here. Now I can rest down in this position here and press up, because this motion is the same as a jump. Now your heels don't have to be completely off the floor, but what you want is you want the pressure to be in the forefront of the foot, keeping the center of gravity over the center of the foot. Now you see my knees come forward past my toes, but that's not an issue because I'm not driving my heels into the ground. The knees going forward past your feet is only an issue if you're trying to drive your heels into the ground, because you're putting force in two different directions. God, that hurts. I don't like that. So, in truth, I like doing front squats. So I will do front squats with the bar. I'm gonna show y'all goblet squats. Those are my two favorites, because regardless of how much weight I have, I can control it here. Like, I've got control in front of me. I got no control back behind here. That's why y'all see all them videos where people lifting heavy weight and once they lose control, they fucking fall and they face hit the mirror in front of them and shit. Avoid all that by keeping weight in front of you. Like, what's crazy is We will lift weight to get strong, and these real life experiences, like you need to be strong when, I don't know, you moving furniture, or you moving out, you having a friend move out of their house. You lift in the entertainment center, it's in front of you. You got to pick up a couch, it's in front of you. You got to change your car, change your tire on your car. That wheel, it's in front of you. 9 times out of 10, anytime you are moving weight in real life situations, that weight is in front of you. So why not train in the same way? I like to keep my weight at the chest. And again, because I'm up off my heels, I have the control and I can drive and push through. This position here at the top of my squat is the same position at the end of a run. When a runner's pressing off, that toe is pressed down. The other issue with your heel driving down, if you've seen any athlete have an injury, whether it's ACL tear, Achilles rupture, it's always the same positioning. The toes are out, the heels are in, the pressure is pressing down this way. This position that you see here is the same positioning in every last ACL, MCL, LCL, Achilles rupture. It's the same positioning. So why would you train in that positioning? When you move your feet outside the body, outside the frame, and you got your toes pointed out this way, and you are dropping weight in here, a lot of the times, I'm going to show you exactly what a lot of y'all do, and it's not your fault. It's your body's way of trying to compensate because you've taken the muscles out of the equation. Truly, a lot of times y'all do this. So you'll set up, feet will be out here wide. You'll start to drop, and then you'll start to see a shift in the hips as they get down to the bottom. Reason is, once you settle into the heels, you've got no more hip rotation. Let me make sure y'all can see my motherfucking hips. Strip for y'all a little bit real quick. Don't worry, it's PG-13. It ain't gonna get worse than this. But I want you to be able to see exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the leg movement and the hip rotation. Because a lot of you all that have pain in the knees is because the hip doesn't rotate, so the body is trying to disperse that weight at the next place it can. Because when you go straight to the heels, the next point of movement becomes the knees. It should be the rotation of the hip. When I'm up on the toe, I can move the leg in and out anywhere I need to because that hip is free to rotate. Once I lock that heel down, this is it. That's all the movement I have. I have no more movement. So as I drop that weight, when the body is supposed to be able to regulate the weight here, I can't do it because my heels are down. And so now the body's trying to go this way because you're not going forward and backwards this way because you're trying to control that weight. So as you drop down, you start to shift to one side or the other. That's what we call a muscular imbalance. You can eliminate that muscular imbalance when you add the proper rotation. As I do my squats on the toes and I rotate my legs as I come up and go down, what's happening is every muscle group is allowed to do their job in their designed proportion. Because you got quads, hamstrings, the groin muscles, and then you have the abductor muscles. So all of these muscles are designed to work together. So if I'm gonna come up here, I stay up on the toes, I drop, let the knees go out. I can rest down in this little crater right here. If you ever watch your toddlers walk, when they first start walking, they wobble, what they do? They sit down in this squat position. You need to be able to rest down in this squat position. Look at where my feet are. And from here, I can power up. This is what you want out of your squats. You're gonna come all the way, here we go. You're gonna come all the way down staying up on toes, and you want that rotation in the leg, because here, all four of those groups of leg that I just mentioned got to work in their design proportions. When you lock it out and you're on the heels, you're then forcing these two muscle groups to overwork to compensate for the groups that are no longer working. You remember being in high school and having to do a class project, and it was like 3 of y'all in the project, but only 2 of y'all did the work. Y'all got the A, but what if that third person did the work that they were supposed to do? Y'all really could have passed that shit. Your exercise it the same way. That was too high. I need some water. Oh yeah, that's the construction people. They finally, I guess hopefully they finish working up on the bathrooms. I'm trying to come in here to work out and not being able to pee. All right, so next one I'm gonna show y'all is one of my favorites, goblet squats. I'm gonna grab a little 40-pound weight just to be modest with it, but the positioning doesn't change. Same thing with the goblet squat as my normal squats. Like, people see me all the time, they're always like, why are you up on the toes? You walk on your toes. That's how you're supposed to. So, same thing. I got the weight here at my chest because I can control it. And as I drop, I'm starting right in here. Down and up. I'm going to show you the side view. Drop and up. The reason why that rotation is so important is because it's the same movement that you do with the arm. Nobody punches like this. You always rotate that arm. Those muscles are designed to bring this arm over this way. These muscles are pulling you in, and that full extension comes because the last tricep muscle is down here. You don't get that full extension until you rotate it and allow that muscle to work. The legs are the same way, okay? The sartorius wraps right around here. You got the glutes that help the rotation. Thigh is the extender. Hamstring is the contractor. But they're designed to work together. This rotation is what you want in every step, every squat, every lunge. Because when you don't do that, you rob the body of the ability to work together the way it's supposed to. So again, start off easy. Any of y'all that do squats with the weights underneath your heels, like this, like when y'all grab two plates, and you put that shit over your heels, that's a good start. But the reason why it's not great is because you're still putting pressure into your heels. Yes, with that plate, you are changing the elevation. You're changing the elevation, you're changing the position of the foot, but you're still driving through the heels. This way, I'm in the same foot position I would be as if I had the plates underneath my foot. The difference is where I'm putting the pressure. I'm putting the pressure through the foot, and all of the muscles in the foot are allowed to be in work. Okay? A lot of times your squats hurt, again, because your foot has been taken out of the equation. So the left and right balance is gone, the forward back balance is gone, and now you're relying on the hips and the knees to do that regulation. When the knees aren't meant for that regulation, the knee does this. That's it, forward and backward. This in and out, that's the hip. So anything going left and right now, I've locked the heels down. There's no rotation, so these are stuck. So any movement is adverse. Any in and out movement of the knees now is painful. The other issue with your form, again, like I said, y'all feet be out too wide, and you allow the knees to cave in. What about this looks stable? This isn't stable. This is a cave in. You gotta think about your legs like a house. If I keep my feet right here, keep them inside, the knees slightly on the outside of the toes, this is a house. This is a stable building. You can come run into me, I'm not gonna fall over because of where I'm putting the pressure. Oh Jesus, I really wish those bathrooms was done for real. It really sucks. So again, with the squats, On a Smith machine, I like to make sure that the angle I'm pushing away from the body. I want everything pushing forward and away with all of my exercises because that's how I want my body to move. Okay. Now, if you are a bodybuilder, if you are following a bodybuilder in order to bodybuild to be ready for a stage competition, then the form and what they have you doing is great for that. What bodybuilders do is great for bodybuilders and their purpose of just building the muscle and looking great on stage. It's awesome for that purpose. But if that's not your purpose, then you shouldn't be working out like them. If you 75, 76 years old and you trying to keep just maintain your overall health and maybe get a little stronger, then lifting weights will help you, yes, but lifting weights like a bodybuilder is not going to be beneficial. One, because your body's not able to handle that. Two, especially if you haven't done it before, that's not going to be realistic. Again, the reason why I am NPF Dragon Fitness is natural patterns and functions. Anything outside of your natural patterns and functions is going to cause damage to you down the line. There's a reason why baby shoes and old people shoes look the same. You need to be able to feel the muscles in your feet as they move. Why? Because your feet and your eyes are two of your largest information gainers. The feet regulate the balance and tell the body, okay, where am I? Where do I need to shift? But if you don't allow the feet to do that, then they can't do that. Sorry, I'm rambling. But again, the way I like to squat, especially on the Smith machine, well, y'all see that cuff? Y'all see that booty? Look at that booty. I like to keep the weight in front of you, feet back a little bit, so I can maintain a forward lean as I come forward. I don't have to worry about the weight falling because it's on the Smith machine. It's not going to go nowhere but up and down. So you allow yourself to lean into it. You can hold it at the hands. You can rest it on the chest or right here in the elbows. Whichever works out best for you. Drop. Push up. I'm always leaning forward as I push up and drive because I want to build power for my sprint. I want to build power for my jump. That means everything has to be forward locomotive. Any training that isn't forward locomotive is going to do detriment to my forward locomotion. I'm not saying that stability exercises aren't good, isolation aren't good. Isolations are great when you know how to do them right and when they work alongside with the group exercise you're doing. I'm looking for a better angle right now to get y'all sideways because I want y'all to see the drop that happens. Yeah, y'all can see it from here. Again, you can do it from the elbows, whatever is most comfortable for you to hold it. But position-wise, just like when you're running, your feet are under, then behind you. So they are under me. Now it looks like they're behind me, but they're still under me because of my positioning. I'm dropping, I'm letting the knees go out. That's an indication of the hip rotating. Oh, then come back in as I come up. The same way, when I punch the elbow down, it goes out on the way down, and it comes back into the body on my way up. The kick and the punch are the same thing. Now, once you done got your form right, once you done found the position that allows you to keep stable, then you can start to mess with your weight and your rep ranges and all of that. But until you have the right form, until you have properly figured out your form, stay with body weight and lightweight only. Okay? Reason why is because you need to train your body up to certain points. If you haven't done something, if you haven't done a specific weight, jumping right into it ain't the best move, especially if you are not a lifelong athlete. Lifelong athletes, they can go into the gym and try some crazy shit that they've never done before and be all right because their body is trained for the environment. So while you want to be pushed in your workouts, you also want to make sure that whoever's training or coaching you understands your body's environment history. Like if you never worked out before, all right, there's some shit you're not gonna be able to do, and that's fine. But that also means that if you never worked out before, it's gonna take you longer to do certain shit, and you have to be okay with that. You're the one that has to allow yourself to take the time to build and grow. Otherwise, your progress will always feel diminished because you don't have the focused understanding that, okay, it's going to take a little time. Like the number one thing that kills most trainers and their careers is clients with unhealthy expectations. If you spent 15, 20, 30 years getting to the size that you are now, don't expect to undo that amount of time worth of work in 6 to 8 months. That's crazy. Expect the same amount of time that it took you to get fat. Go ahead. You go. So again, with the goblet squat, drop, knees out, come in. You're probably wondering about the dual dumbbell squat. How do you keep your knees from smacking the weights? I'll go ahead and grab another one and show you. I might have to get a different weight size because there's not another 40. Fucking, I'm gonna use these little 30s. Perfect. So when it comes to squats with 2 dumbbells, that's really a matter of positioning and where you're holding your arms. And I'm gonna upload also a shortened version of this onto the page and into the series. So each day of Fitmas, you'll have 2 different videos. You'll have a short form and a breakdown. But again, with dumbbells, to keep my knees from hitting the weights, I either move them in front of me here, or if I have them behind me, right there to the sides. And that's because my feet are right here in the middle. I can manage where I want to do that as I'm staying in the foot. You don't have to be all the way up on your tippy toes. Just practice by leaning more into your toes. Allow your foot to work. And if you're having issues doing that, having that feeling, take your shoes off. Y'all got shoes that got 1.5 inches of foam on the bottom of them. That's why you can't feel the ground. Like the shoes I got on now, really y'all should have for real. That's it. It's not a whole lot of shoe. It does the job of protection and a little bit of grip, but it allows my foot to work. Y'all shoes with 3-4 inches of foam on the bottom of that shit, you walking on the cloud, and then sure, that shit might feel comfortable because you don't have no pressure, no pain, but on the back end, your feet are atrophying. Any muscle that isn't allowed to work will die. So again, as you're going through squats, when you're picking up your weight, drop your behind first. Don't do this. You put a lot of strain on your back. Put your hands on your weights. Drop your butt. Stand up first. There you go. Now, I can drop. Right in there. All the way down, all the way up. You want to make sure you always get full range of motion. I don't care if it's goblet squats, dumbbell, double-handed squats, Smith machine, free bar, all the way up, all the way down, unless you are doing a specific range of motion for a specific thing. Hey, you doing? So none of y'all here. See, I knew talking to y'all would be a lot easier than just having y'all watching me and not hearing nothing. All right, we've been over here for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and go through a squat workout with all 3 of the dumbbells. I'm gonna go sets of 10 with all 3, knocking straight through. Again, I'm gonna do all of this with the weight in front of me. So the bar will be in front of me for the squats, goblet squats holding at the chest. Dumbbell squats will be off centered towards the front as I go up and. But remember, you always want to rotate as you drop and come up. And a lot of people are like, well, squatting with your feet together is hard. Yes, it's true, because most haven't built the strength to do so. I'm not expecting you to come this close with your feet together, but you do want to start with your feet closer inside than you normally have them. Also, what most don't do is squeeze the prime mover as they're going through a workout. The next time you do squats, pause at the bottom, then start with the squeeze in the butt cheeks. I guarantee you have a much different feeling in your workouts and your results. Because what happens is, when you are telling the body when to activate the muscles, you get better results than when the body is simply reacting. The same way as if I asked you to do a certain job. If I gave you the preparation, if I told you, okay, you're going to do X, Y, and Z, you're going to be more prepared to do that job. Well, you activating the prime mover of an exercise on purpose is your way of telling the body, we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and the body will be better prepared for it. Rather than you going into a movement, moving improperly and out of sequence, then you're going to get some results as you go along, but you always get better results when the form is right and proper. And truthfully, my rotation isn't even where I want it to be yet. I still have a lot of work to do with this, but the fact that I've started doing this, like I've started this movements practice for the past 4 years. I am 260 plus pounds. I have virtually no joint pain. Outside of this ankle that I injured during the NFL Combine about 8-9 years ago. I believe it was a fracture. I never got it fixed. I just thugged it out because I had no insurance. But outside of that, like I've got that pain, that injury, and lower back tightness from years of work and overworking. But even those pains are diminishing because of my change in form. Like I used to have the debilitating knee pain where you wonder, okay, do I need to go to the doctor? Is there something broken? But it's simply a matter of muscular imbalances and improper training that causes us to have the pain that we have. Like I leg press up to, I got to re-check what my levels are, but about 600-800 pounds. Again, that same movement. I've done at least, I think 1,400 pounds of leg press. I'm not there yet because I've changed my forming factor. The other thing about this is when you correct your form, a lot of the time you're going to have to start at square one with your workouts. Just because you're doing something doesn't mean you're doing it right. And if you're doing it wrong, once you figure out how to do it right, you got to go back to the drawing board and do it all over again. Not only am I 260 plus pounds with little joint pain, I'm 32 years old and I'm still playing full contact football. Outside, full pads, 100% rain, hail, sleet, or snow, with virtually no joint pain. And when I do have joint pain, I know where to adjust to remove it. Like just now, I felt a little twinge on the right side of my back hip area, but you're not helping. Either leave this area alone and let us do the work, or give us some outside help. Again, I'm starting here because I want all my power to be inside. I want all my power when I drive to run to be here. As I step and drive, I want my body to understand how to generate power from point zero, not needing to go outside and push the body away for force. The only time that type of movement is truly required for force is on ice or in water. But that's a completely different movement set that you're not practicing because you're not in the water. Like when if you see a running back break down and they do this, anytime they're out here like this, all of this, they're gonna have injury. Look at let's see, Jerry Jeudy. Kadarius Toney. How many times have we seen reports of them having hamstring injuries or a groin injury or having issues? And you think to yourself, this is a high draft pick athlete. Why are they still having these injuries? It's the training. It's not the turf. It's the training. I can cut and everything like this because from here, with my foot pointed straight, toe inside a little bit, I can go anywhere. All the pressure is here. I can go forward. I can go right. I can go left. But if I do that same step like this, I kind of have to go this way. I don't really have a support base to push off and go that way without causing injury because, again, as I push that way, that knee is what we call a knee valgus. That cave in, that valgus, I can feel that pulling right here in the muscle. You don't want to do that. I can go here. I'm stable. As I step into that toe, I'm stable. You step with the heel, you are in danger because that heel step doesn't allow the muscles to take that impact. And so what happens is that impact goes from the heel straight to the knee and it has to relieve itself. So always toes in. That's why I'm inside here because you got to remember, again, unless you train for bodybuilding, then you training for life. And if you're training for life, everything you do in the gym should correlate to your movement outside of the gym. At the top, I always come up into that full calf raise just to finish out the entirety of the motion. And again, this is only 30-pound dumbbells. I'm burning. Yes, I did look, I got, what was that, 25 plates on the Smith, a 40-pound for the goblet, 30 pounds for what some call suitcase squat, and the muscles are already burning. Only been in here 30 minutes. Only burned 285 calories because I've been talking to y'all and moving slow, but the work is getting done. And the most important thing is the form. I've been moving slower because I've been talking to y'all. But in that moving slow, in that control, that's where you get the greatest amount of growth in your muscles. That's also where you get the best amount of fat burn. Ladies, if you out here trying to trim down the stomach, try and unbig the back, or try and build the booty, you always burn more efficient calories when you are working with resistance, lifting weights. You have to add resistance as time goes on. Once you've done the hip thrust with the band on it, with the 45 on the barbell, go up. Once you have successfully done a workout, you can do that workout. The point is to get better. So in order to get better, the challenges must become harder. What time is it? 8:30. All right. I actually got to wrap this up because I need to go to my other job. But again, this was squats. And I'm gonna leave this up. I'll stay posted, and then I'm going to put it up on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. But any and every exercise you got a question about, drop a comment, hit my inbox. I'm the same, MPF Dragon, on all platforms: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and everything else. But again, you got 24 more exercises to go through. Today was squats. Tomorrow we might focus on push-ups, because that is another multi-muscle exercise that you need for life. In fact, you do push-ups every day. You do them if you sleep on your stomach, you do push-ups every morning. You do at least one to get up out the bed. But these are movements that you need to be able to do in order to maintain your quality of life. Like that's goal number one. Most people don't think about it because you're already maintaining what you think is your quality of life. So base one is maintain quality of life. Base two is try and burn fat, then get sexy, then get fit. Okay? So whatever your goals are, nestled in between there, this is what you want to do. If you are interested in getting personal training, either in person or online, DM me, hit the website. Information is on the page, on the bio. I'm tired from that little bit of work. Now I'm about to go stand for the next 5 hours. But again, 25 days of fitness. Day one, squats. How often should you do squats? Every day. Every day. You use your legs every day, right? Then do them every day. What I prescribe to all my clients is at least 5 days out the week. Squats, push-ups, sit-ups, 100 reps. You can break down to 10 sets of 10, 4 sets of 25, 5 sets of 20, whatever you need to. Shoot for 100 reps of those 3 exercises every day. I don't care what your profession is, what your goals are. Those 3 things will boost the basis of your fitness and allow you to progress further along than you ever thought you could. I'm gonna let y'all go. Peace and love to all at one. I love you. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for being here. I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. I'm out.